G'day, I'm Gavin from Hurleysflyfishing. If fly fishing is something you want to get into, you want to do a course with us. We'll take you up to New G and we'll teach you how to catch trout. $99, get in touch with us and we'll teach you how to be a superstar fly fisher. If you're going to be going to areas like this where it can get quite cold, make sure you get some like icebreaker thermals, like in like I wear under the waders and also in the tops and undergarments, because it's amazing the difference it makes. You're much more comfortable and you can fish for a lot longer when all the conditions are not always on your side. We've come over to the Lake Jindabyne, and because there wasn't enough fish at the moment in the Threadbow River where we were fishing anyway. This is like a brilliant expanse of water that has got a lot of fish through it at times as well. And what we're doing here, I've got a fast sink tip line on, and because the water's still pretty cold, and I'm thinking if the fish are here and feeding, they're still going to be down deep. So I've got a essentially, like, it's called a magoo, which is very similar to a woolly bugger, and on a fast sink line. Strip that through and that'll imitate to a fish anyway. It'll look like a yabby or a damsel nymph or a muley, just something getting away. So we're hoping that's going to bring about a couple of takes. If not, it's a pretty cool area to be in anyway. You look around, it's different landscapes everywhere, from trees and rocky outcrops and things like that. It's a pretty amazing sort of a place right up here in Jindabyne. But it makes it much more fun if we get a fish on the end of it as well. And when you're retrieving, it's very important. You need to alter it as well. You might start off with big strips to imitate like a little bait fish darting away, or a yabby. They're ones that'll really do 20-30 centimetre squirts. Or you can just do even short little pulls as well. You can imagine like a little darting insect, or even like a mud-eye would go that way. Or you can even what they call a figure 8 retrieve. With a lot of your floating lines, you're going to retrieve it much slower. So what you're really doing is in your hand is making a figure 8 with the fly line, and you can either just hold it in there and cast from it, or just drop it as it builds up. But that, you can imagine, keeps that fly darting along with the movement. So what you've got to do is probably a few different options. Just try them all until you start getting takes, and that would mean that that's what the fish are looking for, that sort of movement from that sort of coloured, insect and things like that. So just try a few different ones until you get something that's going to work for you on the day, or vary them until you find what's going to work, and then stick with it. Quite often with this, because it's a fast sink line, give it a little bit of time just to sink down and then start the retrieve. That's what we've called a magoo. So that, to a fish anyway, looks like a little minnow, and it's on a very short shank. So that has a lot of movement in its tail there, but they tend to always get it head first, so it always tends to work really well. A lot of colour and sparkle, because there's a lot of water out there, so we want that fish to be able to see that. And they're a bit short on hands, so they tend to have to put it in their mouth to get give it a taste test, and well, then she's too late. There we go. And that was good. We've had a couple of good casts in this area here. And on the sinking line, just above these weed beds, we're just sort of hoping a fish is going to come about, and it was good. I changed flies there. I went to a magoo but in a white pattern, so I thought might imitate perhaps a little bait fish a little bit more, or a little minnow of types. And there's only a little one, but yeah, certainly made the difference. So it's a rainbow, and that's what it's about, you know, to get a take when things are not perfect. You know, we've been at the river for quite a while and it hasn't sort of been working too well, so you try something different, and you have a bit of a thought process and put that into practice, and when that works, well, it's good. It's good when you can get a fish. I mean, catching fish is not everything. It's you know, just being in an environment like this makes it great fun, but every now and then to get a fish on the end of it just makes it at least let you know that you're doing the right thing. There we go. So he's a nice little rainbow. He's probably only, I don't know, £1.5, £2, which is not like, you know, your 4 and 5 and 6 pound monsters that we're used to, but any fish is a good fish, you know. So yeah, and a lovely little rainbow just the same there too. So beautiful. Probably easy £2. Just in good condition too. There's obviously a lot of food over this the weed bank, and just loves that magoo. That's in a white colour, which would look like a lovely little bait fish and things like that. We'll get that hook out. That's good. There we go. Beautiful red stripe, different to the browns we've been getting. And then they're a little bit off spawning too, which is probably why he's quite dominant in this lake at the moment. Into deep water, they get a bit more oxygen through the gills, and they're good to go. So perfect. So that's good. They're probably a month or so behind the browns when they spawn. So they'll move to the perhaps the threadbow, you know, later on. Late June, July and stuff like that, and then go up and spawn after the browns have. So yeah, that's probably why there may be more rainbows feeding at the moment in this area. So yeah, once something works like that, you keep doing it. So we'll do that for a little bit longer and see if we can't catch another couple of trout out of Lake Jindabyne. I think we've given this a pretty good go. We've, I mean, not far away, we've got the Jindabyne River, which flows into Lake Jindabyne, which should have this time of year some pretty good runs as well. So we might duck up there for the last half of the day. It's not that far away. Let's see if we can't get a few more fish on the end of this rod.